Hey, what's up, Metal Maniacs? This is Dan from Crossfire in Dublin, Ireland, and you are trashing it up on Dave Softee's Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio.
Memory Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, are you ready? Here we go. Let's welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Dublin, Ireland, from a young thrash metal band, Crossfire, here to talk about their debut full offering, Switch to Reset, released December 15th, 2023, through WormHoleDeath Records, based in Italy, which I find very interesting, and I'd like to find out about that. Joining us, we have the drummer, Dan O'Connor. Welcome, Dan.
How you doing? What's the crack? How you doing?
Great. How you feeling? I know you just did your CD release party, and you recovered?
Just starting to recover 4 days later. But yeah, we're coming up to Christmas, and winter's getting cold here in Dublin. So myself and a few other of us were like going through kind of illnesses and bits and pieces. So we just got to the finish line with the album release party, and yeah, recovering now. But all good anyway. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to be here. I know how busy you can be right now, and with the holidays and everything, and with working with the band. And so thank you for this opportunity again. And let's talk about Crossfire. I see the band formed in 2012, and you have an EP out there called Bound in Skin, which came out in 2018. And I want to congratulate you on your brand new debut offering, Switch to Reset, which of course I've heard, and I'm very impressed with your sound. It's kick-ass thrash metal.
Yeah, thanks a million. Yeah, it's a long story, the Crossfire, a long story, especially getting finally to where we are with the release of Switch to Reset. We're extremely proud of it, and we're just extremely satisfied to get something sounding as good as that out to the world and people like yourself. We can probably get into the nuts and bolts of how it came to be and how it's taken so long, but to be sitting here now at the end of December and to finally have people listening to it, it's an incredible feeling.
I'm interested to know, how did you came up with the name Crossfire? I'll tell you why. When I was doing my research, I always use Metal Archives to get a foundation of what I need to find out. And I saw so many other Crossfires out there.
Yeah.
And some of them are split up, and they're from all different countries, all different kinds of metal, ranging from black metal to power metal and everything in between. So why, or who selected Crossfire as the band's name?
That was Kev, our frontman, our rhythm guitarist, vocalist, and general band leader, I suppose. But yeah, he had the name when he was very young now for a Crossfire. I think he was actually originally inspired from a map on Call of Duty 4, the PlayStation game, out of all things. And everyone at the time, well, I wasn't an original member, but everyone at the time seemed to like the name. And of course, then after, what was it, weeks or months, we find out, there's the Belgian metal band Crossfire and so many others. But we're probably all a bit too stubborn for our own good, as in, because we've seen all the reviews and people saying to us over the years, it took a while to research, and there's plenty of others have used the name before, which isn't ideal. But yeah, we were just too stubborn to change it. I think once we decided we liked it, so it keeps things challenging for us. We've got to make sure that we're known as the number one Crossfire, currently active at least, going forward.
Yeah. But being that you mentioned Kevin, let's mention the rest of the band. You have Conor Jordan on bass. You have Kevin O'Connor. Is that your brother?
That's my cousin.
Is your cousin, okay.
Yeah.
And we have Matt O'Brien on guitars. And that's the lineup. And you have an incredible sound for the four-piece.
Yeah, the band was formed by Kev and CJ Conor around about 6 or 9 months after that. Their drummer wasn't interested anymore. Great drummer, but just metal, I think, wasn't quite his thing. And I remember, because I was only 17 going 18 at the time, I was playing kind of small all ages gigs with my friends and kind of alt rock bands, kind of Foo Fighters type stuff, which I loved. And then Kev gives me a call, or I called him or something like that, and I said, I'll fill in for a few months, as in playing thrash metal for a little while, be a fun challenge, a fun experiment, keep myself busy over the summer. But then I have school, so I have to go back and knuckle down for that. But that was 10 years ago now, and here I am still. So and then Matto joined the band then a year or two later. He was playing great stuff in a death metal band who sadly aren't going anymore, but kind of tech death band called Axial Symmetry. So when we got him on board, he was a perfect fit, great guitarist, great personality fit for the band. And we've had that stable lineup now for 9 years, I believe, which again I think is one of our strengths. Like, we're all great mates, and especially you see so many bands kind of at our level when it, sometimes the members can be a revolving door, because everyone has work commitments, people fall out, so on and so forth. So the fact that it is the four of us still going as well, now the album's out, is great.
Yeah, it's true, because everyone has to make a living, and sometimes if the band isn't going at the pace it needs to go, and you're not making money with the band, you got to do something about that, which is a said state of the facts of the art. That's just the way it is. And I know bands that have been metal, they decide they don't want to be metal anymore because they think there's more money in pop music, and they actually become a pop music band, like a rock band or something like that. And then they realize it's no different, and then they come back to do the metal. It's about the money, but there's no money. Not really.
Yeah, well, there's not really a lot of money for anyone out there these days, is there? And that's not to like discount anyone who makes it in the music industry is obviously doing something right, and it's great. But the way I see it now is, especially being a metal band, I find it like, we're obviously all doing it for the love. We love making music, we love playing shows and so on and so forth. But when it comes to making it, whatever that is, it's like playing the lottery. Just and it's just the more things you do, the more kind of success you get, gives you kind of more lottery tickets. So you still have a better chance of doing it, but it's still a challenge.
Yeah, I don't even think the big bands that we grew up with are still making what they used to make back in the day. It's just a different world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let's talk about Switch to Reset. Who was responsible for producing, mixing, mastering, and where was this recorded? What studio was this recorded in?
Long story short, it wasn't really recorded in a studio. So what happened was in late 2019, I believe. So Jonathan Mazzeo from the Grid Europe in Italy mixed and mastered the album, did a fantastic job. He reached out to us on behalf with Wormhole in late 2019. They'd heard our EP and singles, which despite their questionable production quality, we'll say, and they liked it and wanted to record an album with us. And we were right at the time where we were saying, no, we need to record this album. So the original plan was to go over to Italy for 3 weeks in May of 2020 to record the album in Jonathan's studio in Italy. Of course, we all know what happened in 2020, and things had to be delayed and delayed and delayed. And it got to the stage where, obviously, due to lockdown restrictions, stuff like that, we couldn't travel over there. And it kept changing because the world kept changing. We didn't know what we were doing. So it got to the stage sometime in late 2021, maybe as early as 2022, when we kind of had to make the decision. It got to a stage where we couldn't sort out our own kind of personal and work arrangements to take 3 weeks of unpaid leave to go over there anymore. And we decided, no, we're going to record this ourselves. Jonathan was still on board to mix and master and give us any advice, tips, etc. on how to best record it, but it resulted in, we recorded the drums here in Dublin in Track Mix recording studios, and after that all the guitars, vocals, everything else was either recorded by ourselves in Conor, our bassist, garage, or in our rehearsal room. So it was basically 80% of it was kind of a DIY job like that, learning on the job, kind of how to record, how to use a DAW, etc. And then so that was challenging, and that was also a reason why it was late 2023 and not 2020 when the album was coming out. But we're still, great learning experience for us. We loved the process, as annoying as it could be for us sometimes. And luckily, again, as I said, we still had Jonathan on board, who did, I think, an incredible job of mixing and mastering and polishing everything up.
Yeah, congratulations. And you're reminding me of 2020 was a crazy, crazy year. And I mentioned to you before the interview, Adrian Williams. He has a segment here at Metal Radio called Conjurings from the Hellfire Club. And he recommended to me in I think it was 2020, maybe it might have been, it had to be 2020, to get with Acid Age. And they couldn't do their CD release party on time because of the lockdowns and everything like that. So I got with them just when they were going to do their CD release party, but it was months later, but after the release because of COVID. Yeah, that's a shame when that happened, and it's never going to go away. But we just got to be safe and get our vaccines and all that. I guess that's one way.
100%. Luckily, it seems like, again, not to tempt fate, but all the restrictions and kind of world going mad part has gone away for the most part, at least. But I remember Acid Age because, and I remember what you were talking about, because we were actually. Yeah, we were lined up to play that album release show you were talking about, and again, I was talking to them. Now we've had to delay it. We've had to delay it again. So we're lucky enough that it eventually did go ahead in geez, I can't really remember what year it was now exactly, but that was our second show after all restrictions had stopped in Ireland. We took the drive up from London to Belfast to play with them, and then they were kind enough to return the favour for our own release party there last Saturday night. So
very cool. That's good. Yeah, you were saying that was your CD release show. You just had that, and you had SNH there. That's amazing. They're a very intense band.
They're very intense, and doing something that not a lot, if any, bands are doing in thrash at the moment. They have a very distinct sound, very technical, insane a lot of the time, but definitely great, and definitely something people should be checking out. So yeah, and they seem to be doing really well now. They're going from strength to strength, so nothing but love and power to them.
Yeah, I got to tell you about our chat room. What we do when we're playing the music, we share the links to the bands and their CD artwork, and a lot of the album art out there is pretty pathetic, I guess you could say. It's pretty cheesy, but I got to say something about yours. I'm really enjoying it's kind of like a sci-fi dentist office. You got something really good going on there, and I'm interested to know who designed this, because it's a good one.
It was done by, he goes by Old School Crew on Facebook, an Italian artist, I believe. Again, there's an Italian theme with this record, between being with WormHoleDeath based in Italy, and then our lyric video. But yeah, but that's basically what we were going for, is in so Switch to Reset, the kind of visual theme we took was based off the theme of the title track of the song, around about the MK Ultra experiments back in the 50s, I believe, in the 60s in the States. And so that's what we're kind of trying to depict. It did come across a bit more dentist office-y than we originally planned, to be honest. But no, we definitely wanted that kind of old school 80s album cover aesthetic, like all the greats had back in the day. And again, you see some great artwork nowadays, but when it's kind of almost too well done or too kind of digital looking or something like that, I don't know. For me personally, anyway, it doesn't come across as cool as kind of that old school aesthetic that we've at least tried to capture with the album cover here.
Great job there. And I'm interested. I know I didn't ask you yet about WormHoleDeath. What led you to sign up with them?
When we were approached by them, we were hesitant. Not hesitant, but we didn't kind of expect to release this with a label. We just assumed that we were going to go down the path of doing it independently, because that's what we've been used to. We started chatting to them, of course, when they approached us and seeing will we, and it's just we got a great vibe just off them. Was in when we were chatting with them, they were friendly, they were answering all our questions. We know what they wanted, and they know what we wanted. So the relationship has always been good. So, but yeah, I suppose then the main thing when it comes to signing with Wormhole or a label in general is just the idea of, we wanted, more than anything, we wanted Switch to Reset to get out to as many people as possible in as many different countries around the world. Just about the fact that we've been lucky that we've played a lot of shows here in Ireland, a couple of shows in the UK, and we've done pretty well for ourselves with them, and people who've seen us live know what we can do. But for so long, due to some circumstances in our control, some circumstances out of our control, we've never done ourselves justice on recording. So we know that this album was a chance for us to get not only a really good sound with Jonathan on board, with Wormhole, but then the power of Wormhole as a label to hopefully just share that music with as many people as possible and take it from there.
There is a very big difference between the EP and this Switch to Reset in the sound quality and the tightness of the band. It's a big difference. And does that have to do with the label, or does that have to do with Jonathan?
A bit with the label, a bit with Jonathan, of course, because he's exceptionally talented, a bit with ourselves and just in our own commitment levels, because when we recorded that in 2017 for release in 2018, again, we were all younger, we didn't have as much money ourselves, but also we weren't taking the band as seriously as we could have or should have been for a number of different reasons. Again, was Bound in Skin. I know the EP, the majority of it was kind of, again, DIY style recording. So we knew that for this album, for the reasons I mentioned already, and then just the fact that we are releasing it on a label, we knew that the production quality had to have a massive step up, which we're glad that we've hopefully achieved now.
Of course, yeah.
It's also why people have asked as well, out of the 8 songs on the album, 4 of them were previously released songs. And that's something we kind of chatted back and forth about on if that was the best idea or if we wanted to or not. But we kind of came to the decision between the four of us that no, these are four songs that we still love playing live. We love, and we just thought that they deserved better treatment in the studio. Basically, they deserve the switch to reset treatment that they've gotten, and also because we still feel like they're amongst our best songs, and with the idea of hopefully switch to reset going out to a far bigger audience that they can hear Crossfire put our best foot forward.
That was a great decision, absolutely. And let me know, who designed the band logo? I've seen variations of it. I wasn't sure if you sent it to me, but I've seen the original logo and the logo for the album cover. Who designed this?
Jeez, we've had it so long now, and again, that was something where we were wondering, were we going to change it for the album? But no, we decided no, we're keeping it for this run. I believe that's from sketch that Kev, our frontman, did. He was always a great drawer. I think he did the original sketch, and then Matt did up the kind of the vector digital sign design that you see now. But yeah, we've had that for a while, and we've kind of him and Hawes like, are we going to change? Are we going to change it? But again, maybe we're too stubborn for our own good sometimes. That's what we kept so far, and we're going to keep for the foreseeable future, at least for this album cycle anyway.
It makes sense because now people will recognize this logo and associate it with your band, and changing it might not be such a good idea.
Yeah, well, maybe not change it. I'm sure we might give it a new lick of paint or a bit of makeup down the line, but we're happy with it for the time being, yeah.
And modifying it, right? Well, let's talk about where the fans could get the copy of Switch to Reset and what formats it's available in. I want to give your link tree. I think that's probably the most important site for them to go to, the fans that want to get your merch, and that would be Linktree/Crossfire Thrash. And also you have, it has your Instagram, your Facebook, and your Bandcamp all associated with that. I guess the easiest way to get digital format would be on the Bandcamp, crossfirethrash.bandcamp.com. But where would you say would be the best place for the band, Crossfire, for the fans to get the music?
Yeah, the social media platforms that we keep most up to date with would be on Facebook or Instagram. So that's facebook.com/crossfirebandtrash. Instagram is instagram.com/crossfire_Ireland. As you mentioned, though, everything is on our link tree there. If people want to listen to Switch to Reset, do it in whatever format you want. If Spotify is best for you, use that. If you want to support us on Bandcamp, even better. And yeah, if you want a physical copy, the album's only been out a few days now, but we're actually overwhelmed by the amount of people that have bought the CD. So if anyone's listening and bought already, thank you so much. We're almost done with the first run, the first batch that we got printed, but it's still available at the moment. Crossfiretrash.bandcamp.com. If you want to buy the digital album, buy the CD, or buy a t-shirt and patch, it's all available there, and it's all available for worldwide shipping as well.
Very good. So besides the t-shirt, patch, and the digital and physical copy of the CD, do you plan on having any other merch in the near future?
There's no concrete plans at the moment. Of course, the question we've gotten from a few people now is, are you going to get on vinyl? Look, we'd love to get on vinyl, but as I'm sure everyone knows these days, when it comes to the waiting times for production on it, and then just the cost of getting them printed in advance, it's not something that we can commit to straight away. But we're hoping down the line we're gonna take another look at everything again in the new year, and if we feel that there's a feasible way of doing it, we'll definitely be considering it. But yeah, no, at the moment, CDs, the t-shirts, and the patches. But look, we'll see what 2024 holds for us. And but if any new merch does become available throughout next year, the Bandcamp is the place where you'll be able to get it first.
Thank you very much. Great. And yeah, I've talked to a lot of up-and-coming bands, and definitely vinyl is a very expensive venture, and it's not something that everyone could do. So I can understand 1,000,000% what you're saying about that.
It's right. Well, because we're all vinyl collectors ourselves, and that's why, look, we obviously wanted the album out on some physical format. Vinyl wasn't feasible, at least not for release day. And we were talking about CDs, and again, I was a person myself. So I don't know how many more. Just because I don't know how many more people still collect them or listen to them. I was clearly proven wrong because they've done so well so far, which I'm delighted with. Yeah, if nothing else, for selfish reasons, I'd love to have the vinyl one day to add it to my collection.
Maybe down the road at some point. That would be cool.
Exactly. It might not be for a while, but one day it's definitely on our list of priorities. Yeah.
Excellent. I want to give you a YouTube channel, Crossfire at Crossfire 5860, and on WormHoleDeath, also their YouTube. That's where I saw your Turn to Stone lyric video, and I believe that's your second single. That's nice to see that you have videos. Some bands, they're not really caring about videos; they rather just perform live. But I always believe that it's always great for the promotion of a new release to have videos as well, that because you can't perform everywhere, and it just adds to the experience of a new release, I believe. So I'm interested to know more about this Turn to Stone lyric video, and if there is a plan for any more new music or lyric videos to promote this new album.
You're 100% right when it comes to, some bands focus on it a lot more than others. And I think that is just because it's so challenging. When it comes to releasing and promoting new music now, you're thinking about, all right, the streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple. You're thinking about short form videos for Instagram or TikTok. Then there's long form videos like, there's basically just a lot of bases to cover. So you're trying to think about what are you going to get the most of for your investment of time and money. So, but having said that, we definitely wanted at least one lyric video to go up on the WormHoleDeath channel and kind of kickstart the promotion for the album. So a guy called Andrea Mantelli made the Switch to Reset lyric video with the album artwork animated off. Looked amazing. And then, to be honest with you, we kind of got caught on the hop. The label asked, here, can we get a second lyric video for Turnstone? We knew Turnstone was probably going to be the second single. And we kind of we didn't know if we'd have the time nor the money to kind of make another investment for a second one. So I was luckily able to myself. I had a background in video editing through work, but never anything like that. So I was able to get some stock footage together and some limited experience and animation to put together the Turnstone lyric video. So incredibly proud just that I was able to get that done before release date. Both of them been received really well. So yeah, that's the story about the lyric videos. No concrete plans for any more lyric videos, but again, it's probably something we'll discuss in the new year. I'd love, even though I know this sounds so counterintuitive, even though it's a 11-minute instrumental, I'd love some sort of visualized or abstract music video for Prometheus on the album, just because we are all incredibly proud of that song. But apart from that, it's so there's maybe that, and then also our own YouTube channel, because obviously the lyric videos are uploaded on the label's channel, which is obviously grand. But yeah, we'll be looking hopefully to take a better look at our own YouTube channel, posting more live footage there if we can get it. We're hopefully going to be on the road more in 2024 and kind of upload more behind the scenes footage, or kind of tour diary footage, practice room stuff. So yeah, kind of lots of half-hour plans in the oven for that. But yeah, there should definitely be some sort of more video content in the new year.
That's good news, and I like your idea about the visualizer for Prometheus. That'd be a great idea.
Yeah, again, it's just as we kind of talked about, it's just anything now, because look, there's so many, as you know, there's so many bands out there at the moment, all doing incredible work, by the way, and we're all kind of in healthy, friendly competition with each other to get people's attention, to get them to take time out of their days to watch your video or check out your single. So it's doing whatever you can do to kind of just stand above and stand out in the crowd, I suppose.
Yes. Now let's talk about some live gigs. You just did your album launch show, and that was with, as you mentioned, Acid Age, also Psychosis and Snowblind. I'd like to know more about that and how you felt for your CD release party, and I guess that's what we call it, a CD release party. And do you have more shows beyond this show coming up that we could spread the word on?
Unfortunately, nothing that we can 110% confirm publicly yet. There is already plans for 2024 that are still just kind of being finalised. Look, all of our focus, because we basically, with all that happened towards, like, our main priority was getting Switch to Reset out in 2023 and playing a release show for it, which just happened. So we just about got to the finish line with that. The show on Saturday went better than we could have even hoped for. We're so lucky that, personally anyway, for my money, Snowblind, Psychosis and Acid Age are three of the best bands Ireland has to offer. So I encourage everyone to check them out. All playing kind of different stuff, but all incredible and good friends of ours over the years. So for them to be able to join us was great. We were able to play the album from start to finish, and then a bit of an encore as well. So yeah, the CD release party couldn't have gone any better, and to have it in Fimmergees in Dublin, which has been a second home to us for more years than we care to admit now, was fantastic. So yeah, our main priorities for next year, obviously, we want to play we want to play around Ireland. We have a few shows booked already. We still have to book a few shows ourselves as well. Obviously, we want to get to the big cities like Belfast, Cork and Limerick. We have a few other ones as well that are to be announced, but in the calendar. And then another priority as well is getting back to the UK, because we got to the UK for the first time a month before COVID, and then obviously, as we mentioned, COVID kind of stopped the train on the tracks for a bit, but we've signed up to a manager based in the UK now that's working with us to get us over there, hopefully more than once. We were talking about Gamma Bomb, who we were looking up to have played with over the years as well, off air there, and Joe McGuigan gave us a bit of advice, and it's basically like, look lads, if you want to conquer Europe, you got to conquer UK, because the UK is such a great metal scene at the moment, particularly in thrash. Load of great thrash bands out of the UK. So that, yeah, the two big priorities for next year is, as I mentioned, to get as many Irish shows as we can in those places that I mentioned, and get back over to the UK and share the good word of Crossfire over there.
Hopefully at some point you'll be able to come over to the USA, maybe with Gamma Bomb. That's where I met them. That would be a beautiful thing. Yeah.
That'd be the dream. I know Kevin Matt's been to New York once or twice. I've still never gotten to go to New York, neither has CJ. So yeah, look, sure, if you can get an East Coast tour in the USA, sign me up 110%.
Excellent. I hope that happens. Yeah, would you like to talk about any of your past performances that stand out in your mind that you're proud of, that you'd like to talk about?
Well, I suppose like a personal achievement for us was, even before like having an album release, we were able to get over to the UK. We played Edinburgh, York and Glasgow in early 2020, which for us was just a personal highlight to go over there and be able to do that. And again, just the way the world's been the last couple of years, we haven't managed to go back, but 2024 we're looking forward to returning there. Other than that, we've gotten to play with some of our favourite bands over the years that we grew up listening to us in. We've gotten great support slots with Exorder when they were touring their last album there a couple of years ago. Zentrix, which, UK thrash legends. As I mentioned, we played with Gamma Bomb a few times, which we've been lucky about. And apart from that as well, we played a really good Irish festival, I believe it was 2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago now, called Sligo Whiplash. And Sligo is a small enough town on the west coast of Ireland. It must only be 60, 80,000 people that live there. I could be getting the number slightly wrong. But we played a great hour-long set there, and it just stands out in my mind because the venue was brilliant. The organisers and the promoters are probably the nicest we've ever dealt with as a band, and it was just like a great weekend. So anyone's passing through Sligo on an August bank holiday weekend, it's normally when they host it. Be sure to check Sligo Whiplash out, and hopefully we'll be back there ourselves. If not this year coming, maybe the year after, but we'll definitely be back in Sligo.
See, okay, great, thank you. And Dan, would you like to talk about your drum kit?
My drum kit, so it's a symptom of the housing crisis in Ireland at the moment. I currently don't own my own proper drum kit at the moment, which sounds ridiculous. I do have an old Pearl kit in storage at the moment, but apart from that, we're very lucky that we have a deal with Troubadour Rehearsal Studios based here in Dublin that we rent the room to use, and I use a Sonar Force kit playing there. And apart from that, it's just using that or house kits or rentals to get by. I'd love if anyone from Tam is listening to get an endorsement deal down the line. But apart from that, no current drum kit that I can really call my own to use permanently at the moment. But apart from that, I generally use either Sultan cymbals or Sabian cymbals, which have done me great over the years, and then ProMark drumsticks, Pearl double bass pedals.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for telling us about that. And hopefully at some point you'll get endorsed and get a drum kit that you'd want.
Hopefully down the line. I'm sure acoustic, electric, I'll settle for anything at this stage. But again, shout out to the guys here in Dublin and Troubadour Rehearsal Studios, because they've been the second home for the band for 6 or 7 years now, both for my own solo practice and for our band practices, storage. We were able to use some of the space down there to record our vocals as well. Brian and Carl, the lads that run it, are two of the best people you'll ever meet. So again, nothing but love to everyone at Troubadour.
Kudos to Troubadour. And what do you do when you're not doing Crossfire? How do you make a living out there?
I'm lucky enough that I work as an internal communications manager for a non-profit here in Ireland that works closely with kind of mental health and youth advocacy. So yeah, that it's kind of served me well, as in kind of internal communications. I'm trying to apply those kind of. It helps with band relationships, definitely, and kind of hopefully running things in a band or helping to run things in a band. And then also, I before that, I studied journalism at university, so trying to be able to transfer some of those skills into the minefield that is band promotion and promoting music, etc.
All right, wow. And Dan, I want to thank you so much for spending time with us on Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio, especially since you're recovering from a cold. You sound great. I would never think that you had a cold. You just sound, normal. And at this time, would you like to say anything to your fans that are tuning in?
Well, thank you for the compliment on my voice. I think it's because I have an empty sleeve of medicine here that I've just gotten to the end of today. So it's doing its job, luckily. But anyone who's listening and has managed to check out Switch to Reset already, thank you so much. It means genuinely everything to us. The reception for the album so far has been better than we could have anticipated, especially to anyone who has managed to be able to support us in buying an album, whether that be digitally or CD or any merch. Like, again, we're literally going through the last of our orders that we're trying to ship out now before Christmas, and to even see people over on your side of the world in places like Virginia and Massachusetts, and we got an order from Australia there for the first time today. So that's been great. Yeah, so anyone that's listened so far, thank you so much. And if you happen to be listening and you haven't heard it already, Switch to Reset is out now everywhere, any streaming platform, Spotify, Bandcamp, wherever you want to go. Check us out and support us. It means the world to us. And of course, thank you today for having us and letting me chat with you for all things Crossfire here.
It's been a pleasure to have you on the show, Dan, and I'm looking forward to the future possibilities of having you back on the show. I want to make sure that we brought everything we can out to the fans out there. So before we go crank up more Crossfire with tunes off of Switch to Reset, is there anything that you'd like to mention that we have yet to discuss?
I don't think so. I suppose wish everyone a Merry Christmas, depending on what time you're listening to, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We're just hoping that 2024 is going to be hopefully the best year for Crossfire yet, now that we have Switch to Reset, an album that we're proud of to share with the world. So hopefully we'll be able to record some music, definitely not an album, but the talks are hopefully that we might be able to record a single or two in 2024 and hopefully share a bit more Crossfire with us. But apart from that, it'll be touring as much as we can here in Ireland and hopefully the UK as well. But of course, as you said, if there's anyone over in New York or the States or anywhere that wants to bring us over, play a few shows, have a few Guinness, have a bit of a party, we'll be available and you know where to find us. Great news. Well, Dan, I want to wish you and all in Crossfire a very happy holiday season and happy new year, and may 2024 be a phenomenal year for you, and may you have continued success in all the years to come. And so you have an open invitation. Anytime you have a new album out there, you want to come back on the show to promote it, be more than happy to talk with you again. Absolutely not. Enjoyed this. Thanks, Dave, and for all the work yourself and your colleague, our mutual friend, Adrian Williams, is doing at Metal Messiah Radio, promoting bands like ourselves. And yeah, as we said, so much music out there. So to have platforms like this to be able to go and find it and discover new music, yeah, it means the world to bands like us, and I'm hopefully as well plenty of fans out there. So yeah, cheers. Cheers. And let's go crank up some more Crossfire, and let's crank it up loud.